Welcome back, PERK'S reCAP podcast, Yankees edition. Yankees edition. Final Yankees edition for the 2025 season. It is over. I had hopes. This year. I really did. Normally, the last few years, I when the Yankees make the playoffs, I'm like, yeah, they made the playoffs, but they're not good. They're not going to do anything. And they didn't. And it didn't hurt because I knew they weren't good. This year, I actually had hopes. Despite losing Juan Soto, I thought they had a better team than last year's team. I thought they had a better shot than last year's team. They had better depth than last year's team. All that remained true, but the pitching failed the first two games against Toronto. I did that podcast. And the pitching pitched pretty well the last two games against Toronto. I mean, Rodon got bombed in game 3, but the bullpen came in and shut them down right there at 6 runs, allowing Aaron Judge to hit a 3-run home run to tie the game at 6 and then go on to win the game 9-6. And Judge batted .500 for the series, so his postseason malaise, his postseason narrative has changed. Is it changed forever if he goes back out next year and doesn't do anything? Probably not, but he did hit a very impactful home run. He had a big impact on the series. So that part was cool, being a Judge fan, of course. Schlittler pitched pretty well in the last game. Gave up 4 runs, but that was an error by Jazz. Not by Volpe, by Jazz. You just got to live with that, unfortunately. Jazz is not a great second baseman. He's just an okay second baseman. An okay second baseman sometimes make errors, and he made an error. Volpe. Boy, oh boy, before we get to Volpe, just real quick, Schlittler gave up 4 runs total, but only 2 of them were earned because of the error. So that means he pitched pretty well. He pitched well enough to win. They just couldn't get off the mat. And that's one of the big problems here that we're talking about is the fact that they scored 2 runs in the final game. The fact that the bottom of the lineup was McMahon, who hit it. McMahon actually hit a home run. But then Rosario came on and went 1 for 2. But Volpe 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. My God. Dominguez pinch hit for him later. Austin Wells 0 for 4. Jazz was 0 for 3. Goldschmidt was 0 for 1. Bellinger was 0 for 5. He batted .214, not good enough. And Grisham was 0 for 5 as well, batting .138. See, now when your top guys, like a guy like Bellinger and Grisham, who are part of the top of the lineup, fail, then you need to get picked up by the bottom of the lineup. And that didn't happen here. Like I said, McMahon hit a solo shot, home run, and there was some hit. Rosario was 1 for 2 as well. But, Volpe struck out 11 times in this series. That's just not acceptable. Bottom line, not acceptable. Their left-handed lineup, when they face a lefty, is terrible, which means their right-handed lineup. When they try to put in more right-handed batters against left-handed lineup, it's terrible. It's so much worse than their left-handed hitters who are batting against righties. Now, a few years ago, they were very much right-handed, and I was like, how can you be the Yankees and not have left-handed power? How can you not have left-handed hitters? And they fixed that problem, but they've gone overboard now. It's like they can't get it right. Now, it's all lefty. Everybody's a lefty. There's very few righties, and the righties you do have are backup players. Rosario's a righty, but he's not a starter. Dominguez is a switch hitter, but he's terrible from that side. Bellinger, lefty. McMahon, lefty. Jazz, lefty. Wells, lefty. Grisham. like I said, the Mingus switch. And then if you want to talk about Spencer Jones next year, which, by the way, he's got to arrive next year. Spencer Jones has got to arrive next year. He's 25. I think he'll be 26. Obviously, he'll be 26 at some point next year. So you can't have a 26-year-old rookie coming in for the first time. He's got to be up and playing day one. But where? Grisham will be gone. He can take Grisham's spot. Understandable. I think he plays center field as well. He's another lefty, though. Do you platoon him and Dominguez and you ride the hot hand? There's a lot to discuss in terms of where they go from here. But Volpe, like I said, was struck out 11 times. Terrible. And it's the same old thing. The hitting goes away in the postseason. The hitting just goes away in the postseason. That's all there is to it. And that's exactly what happened here. The hitting in game one, they scored 1 run, and then in the final game, they scored 2 runs. It's just not good enough. They don't have guys that get on base. They're all concerned about launch angle. They're all concerned about velocity, exit velo, and all this stuff, and all these analytics. And they don't have guys that just put bat on ball. They have high strikeout guys. Volpe struck out a ton, as I mentioned. But, I mean, on a season, a full season, McMahon's going to strike out a lot. Wells strikes out a lot. Rice strikes out a lot. Jazz strikes out not quite as much as maybe some of those guys, but still strikes out quite a bit. Stanton, is capable of batting .220 and striking out an absolute ton. 0 for 5 strikeouts are games that Stanton will have during a season. It's just a matter of how many. Judge strikes out his share for sure, especially when he struggles. You have too many guys. You don't have enough guys putting bat on ball. Now, Judge, you can't complain about his on base. His on base leads the league because he walks so much too. So it's not really him. But you need guys that are on base. On base guys. Give me 10 homers, bat .280 or .290, and with a nice on base. Be on base for the top of the lineup. But instead, it's an albatross of just guys, and we're in store for it again because I'm not sure what they're going to do for changes. The starting pitching is not going to change. Garrett Cole's coming back. Schmidt will be back at some point. Heel, Rodon, Schlittler is firmly entrenched now in the rotation. Rodon, I said that, and of course, geez. Wow. I'm going crazy because I can't think. Wow. Unbelievable. Unreal, really. Fried. Yeah. I couldn't think of Max Fried's name. But anyway, he's the ace. And then you go with Cole when he comes back. Hopefully it'll be May, June, that range. Maybe as late as July. But he should be there down the stretch. So the starting rotation is not getting any changes. The only thing that might change is they might trade somebody. I would not be surprised if Luis Heel gets traded. Or Warren. The bullpen, you got Bednar. You got Duvall. Weaver's probably gone. Williams is gone. So you got to restock a little bit on the bullpen. But it's the bats. You can't go into next year with Wells as your starting catcher, McMahon as your starting third baseman, and Volpe as your starting shortstop. Your 7, 8, 9 hitters, they're going to kill you. They are going to kill you. We know who they are now. It's no more finding out. We know who they are, and they're not good enough. And that's all there is to it. Period, stop. They're not good enough. There's a ton of options that you can go next year. It'll be very interesting to see what they decide on and how I'm going to pick it apart probably because there's good options and there's mediocre, there's Band-Aid options that aren't good enough. The only Band-Aid I'll accept possibly is shortstop. As long as it's not Volpe, it's somebody who could put bat on ball and is a decent enough glove, a right-handed hitter, I'll be happy. I'll be fine. And that can be a Band-Aid for a year or two. because Lombard is going to come up and he's going to play short, and hopefully he's the future at shortstop. I think he could also play third, possibly, or maybe even second. If they decide to move him to third, then Ryan McMahon has one more year left. He plays 2026 for the Yankees, is on his way in 2027, and Lombard plays third in 2027. That's a possibility. But that's not the next year. Lombard is not in the future. So Band-Aid at shortstop, or a new shortstop in general. Are you going to re-sign Bellinger? I think they're going to. Are they going to re-sign Grisham? They're not. Grisham is as good as gone. Spencer Jones is ready, 25 years old, almost 26. He's got to come in, and he's got to take Grisham's spot. Maybe him and Dominguez can platoon, and you ride the hot hand. But again, Dominguez is so bad from the right side, he's going to be bad. If he's only good from the left side, Spencer Jones is also lefty. We have too many lefties again. And Dominguez has got to get good again against a left-handed pitcher, batting righty, because he's not good. But if he can get to be acceptable, that could be his role, the right-handed side of a platoon. It's the lower side, I understand that, but at least he'll have a role. You know, obviously, Judge and right, Stanton, DH, Bellinger and left. Now, the thing is, that's assuming Rice is your first baseman, and that's what everybody's assuming. And that is probably the most likely scenario, which means Wells is going to play every day as your everyday catcher. They cannot go in with that lineup. If they go in with the same lineup as last year, minus Grisham, who hit 30 home runs, and you add Spencer Jones instead, who's going to strike out a ton, play good outfield, apparently he's a good glove, they can't go in with that lineup. You're going to need a backup first baseman, a right-hander, to spell Rice and to come in late in games because Rice's defense is bad. Rice should just work on nothing but his defense this entire offseason, scooping the ball and stuff. But you need a good glove right-handed first baseman to platoon with Rice or spell him or whatever, spot start. Or you sign Bellinger and put him at first. He plays first, and apparently he plays it very well. And you put Rice as your starting catcher. That's a better lineup because then it opens up. Now, your outfield could be Spencer Jones and Dominguez playing, but I don't know what you're going to get from Dominguez. He was very underwhelming this year as a rookie, and so much so that he didn't play down the stretch. So what are you going to get from him? So I don't know what you're going to get from him. But what about signing Kyle Tucker? That's what I want to do. I want Bellinger at first. I want Tucker to learn left field. He'll be fine. He's a really good fielder. I know he's a right fielder, but he can go to left. He'll figure it out. And I want Spencer Jones and Dominguez to tag team center field until one of them takes the job from the other one. I know Kyle Tucker's another lefty, but I love the guy. I think he would be fantastic here. And the problem is, though, I don't know if you can sign Tucker and Bellinger. And when you get down to that, if you don't sign Bellinger and you sign Tucker and you go with Rice at first and Wells catching, the lineup's not nearly as good, obviously. And also, you're trading Bellinger for Tucker, and I don't think the production's going to be that much different. I think Tucker's will be a little better. Tucker is a better player than Bellinger, but he's not that much better where it's going to make a huge difference. He's a good player, and I like him more than Bellinger, but he's going to cost a lot. And if you do get him, and you try to get Bellinger, how much money are you going to spend? You might have the highest payroll in baseball after that, and I know the Yankees don't want that. So I don't think they're going to sign Tucker, although I want him. I think they're going to sign Bellinger, and I also think Rice is going to be the first baseman. But they can't go with – if they go with that team, Bellinger, Dominguez / Jones, Judge, Rice, Jazz, Volpe, McMahon, and Wells, that's not good enough. That is not good enough. We're going to have more games where we're scoring 1 or no runs, and it's going to be a mess. I don't like it. The lineup is definitely getting hurt there. The lineup is definitely too left-handed, and the right-handed lineup is going to suck. So it's going to be very interesting to see where they decide and what they do. Last thing I'm going to say before I sign off here, there's one other thing you could do, which I would really like. Sign Bellinger or Tucker, either one. Put them in left field. Put Rice at catcher. Wells can back him up. I understand 2 left-handed catchers. What are you going to do? And then you sign a right-handed first baseman who's a free agent. And it would kind of be poetic. And that man's name is Pete Alonso. That would be tremendous. That would be tremendous. He'll hit home runs, probably 30, 35 home runs, being a right-hander, not a lefty. But it'll be a right-handed bat, which we need, with Judge and Stanton, so we get a little bit of length. If we want to go left, right, left, right, left, right. Yeah, and I'll sign up for that. That's what I will do. That's what I would want, for sure. Give me Tucker and Bellinger. I don't think that can happen. Give me just Tucker or just Bellinger. And give me Pete. And you know what, too? The Yankees are going to be able to make trades. Don't be surprised if some of their moves in free agency are not big. Chances are, all this stuff I'm saying is not going to happen. Alonso, Tucker, probably not going to happen. But I would not be surprised if they make some trades with some people to settle their lineup. And there's not too many people that are off limits to them, probably. Schlittler, I'm sure, is off limits. A couple other guys. So we'll see. But that's going to do it. That's my end of season Yankees eulogy for the 2025 season. The season that I had hoped for. The season that died unfulfilled. A season that I had more hope than I have had in years. The other seasons I knew they weren't good enough to win. This season I thought they were. They recovered from the June swoon nicely. Best record in baseball down the stretch. I thought this might have been it. But no. Pitching disappeared the first 2 games. Hitting disappeared the first and last game, as it always does. On base percentage, bat on ball contact hitters are needed, and right-handed hitters are needed. Once the free agency period begins and signings start happening, I will be back with you to analyze and talk about the New York Yankees once again, and look forward to the 2026 New York Yankees. Until then, I will see you later.